And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of That's a Bet podcast, Sports Betting 101, episode number 5. And y'all know who it is. It's your boy, Two T's. But y'all know I can't start the show without introducing the best co-host in all of podcast land. Y'all know him as Willie J or Willie Baby. But since Willie Baby's having a baby, y'all know what we say. Say it with me, y'all. Willie Baby, baby. What's good with you, Willie Baby?
Nothing much, man. I'm not afraid to admit it, man. I'm a degenerate gambler. I can't believe this is my life, yet I love my life. I'm ready to go, man.
Hey, man, you ready to rock and roll, man? I know it's a lot of stuff going on in the esports world, so we're not gonna hold you too long, Willie J, or our audience. We're gonna get in and out, and this is episode 5 of our 6 episode series, Sports Betting 101. And the fifth one is this is Willie J's wheelhouse right here. This is Willie Baby's kind of name to fame, in my opinion, with me and him. But we are going to talk about parlays, and parlays are very fun. These are, to me, the most rewarding and also most challenging bets on the board. But before we get into that and talk about how exciting and challenging these parlays are, man, I want to let everybody know to follow the show at That's a Bet Podcast on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow our YouTube page as well. That's a Bet Podcast, and follow me at Pineapple Picks 2Ts on Instagram and Twitter. Again, that's at Pineapple Picks 2Ts. Willie J, where can they follow you at on social media?
Group 13 Sports. That's Group 13 Sports. That's Instagram and Twitter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Make sure y'all follow my boy Willie J, man. But Will, like I was saying, man, parlays. Y'all, one of the nicknames I have for my boy Willie J is Parlay Peter, because once a day I'm usually seeing him send me a screenshot of a epic parlay he's putting up. But parlays, guys, and you kind of probably heard this term just randomly throughout your life, if you know any sports better. But a parlay, in essence, is taking 3 or more bets, 2 or more in some instances, but normally 3 or more bets, putting them all on one ticket. And in order for you to win your money, all of those picks have to hit on that ticket. So you only win money if every bet is successful on that card. That sound about right to you, Will?
100% right.
Okay. So with that being said, it definitely is one of the most popular bets I think a lot of people have, especially novices. And if you're that person that wants to jump into sports betting, this is going to be the most enticing bet, because parlays are a triple, quadruple, quintuple. You can turn $10 into a lot of money. You could turn $1 into a lot of money playing parlays. So with that being said, I kind of want to let's let Parlay Peter, aka Willie J, talk to you guys a little bit about parlays and kind of what parlays are all about.
For me, you mentioned, this could be a very enticing bet, but I'll just give you guys some advice. If you're just jumping into this, parlays is not the way to go. You need to start with straight bets. The way I've always done it is I'll do one or two things. I'll either win some house money or some extra money on straight bets and then parlay that money I won, or I'll put together a parlay and I'll make that parlay the same. The money I'm risking on the parlay will be the same exact money that I do on a straight bet that I know is going to hit for sure, right? So I don't like to try to win money on parlays without either gaining money first or having money that I can use that I've already won on a straight bet, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's just a numbers thing at the end of the day. Like it, the more games you add into this parlay, the harder it's going to be to win. And and typically what the public does is, and this is just, public nature. It's like playing, the lottery.
Yep.
The public loves to risk a little amount of money to win a lot. And it's not really, feasible at the end of the day. The chances of hitting on a parlay is low. But one of the benefits to a parlay is if you go back and you click the link on the different podcasts where we've covered different subjects of betting, one in particular is the juice, the V, or the fee, or the VIG. And what we mean by that is that's one of the benefits of the parlay. You do not have to risk any juice when you bet on the parlay. So That's the solid that the books are doing for you. They're like, hey, you probably ain't gonna hit on this parlay anyway.
Yep.
So it's almost an automatic win for the books. If you want to bet on a parlay, we're gonna waive the fee for you. So that's what happens. Now, if I were to do an 8 game parlay, all money lines where I'm risking a lot of fee on all of these, obviously, or excuse me, risking with higher odds. So let's say minus 300 on a bunch of them. You can do that parlay, and if you hit on all of them, if every single game hits, you're going to win money, but it's not going to be as high as it would have been if you would have done games where the fee isn't as high, right? So you're
Yep.
not going to risk the fee. It just takes away from your winnings, right? So if you do 8 games on the parlay that are, minus 110 odds, your winnings are going to be way more magnified than if you would have done it on 8 games with minus 300 odds. So you're going to waive the fee, but your winnings won't be as high, right? I
Gotcha.
try to stay no more than about 3, 4 um, games on my parlays. And then, if I do get into the higher range, that's when I do more of the money line type of bets within that parlay. If I'm doing 3 or 4, then I'm going to stay with the lower odds or the minus 110 odds closer to that because, you know, I feel like I can win. So I'll give you an example. At minus 110 odds, a 3 team parlay, $20 should win you probably around that $120 range, right?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's how good can you be, and are the stars going to align for you tonight? I'm gonna do a 14 parlay, and hopefully all 4 of those can hit. Odds are not in your favor, but if it does, hey, you walk away with a pretty nice piece that you win.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely came up. And for me, like to kind of come from an angle of more of the sports book definitely wants you to play parlays.
They
And
love it.
I just want to tell you guys that right now. If you call yourself a parlay guy, and you already bet now, and you're wondering why you're not successful over the course of a year, it's because you're a parlay guy. That I mean, literally, it's like playing bingo with a half of a bingo card and the other half is blank, and you have to fill in where you want to put this what in what square and then try to win bingo. No, I mean it's literally very very difficult. And sports books sometimes laugh at people when they come in and try to play these crazy parlays because the odds of it hitting is so low. Now I kind of want to give you the other side of it. There have been people who have hit major money. I read online there was a guy, I think he was in Virginia. Dude turned $5 into $100,000 in the NFL maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because he hit every game right in the NFL for that whole weekend. He hit every spread. And so he turned $5 into 100K. So it's possible. I seen a guy will hit a 20 leg parlay, $25 into $104,000. So
I know you and I know a guy personally that did a fifty
yes.
dollar parlay that won 20 grand this
Yeah,
past football season. So it can
exactly.
happen.
Yeah, it definitely happens, and it is definitely possible. But the thing you do have to realize is like it literally is like a scratch off or playing the lottery, like Will mentioned. It is very, very low chances that you hit, especially anything Will above 4 games. That's when you really get into those stratospheres of like, okay, like good luck,
And I
basically it's
can
a
tell you
crapshoot.
this: the best bettors in the world, the pro handicappers, they don't do parlays. They do straight bets. Just so
Yep.
you guys know, they do not do parlays.
Yep. And that's one thing. If you guys notice me on Twitter, like I rarely send out anything on Pineapple Picks to you guys like that are parlays. And people get mad, like, man, you just hit 6 bets and straight bets in one day. How come you didn't parlay those? I guarantee you, if I would have parlayed them, they wouldn't. All 6 wouldn't have hit. Like it's just one of those things in that world where it's like, nah, it
And if a
just.
pro and just in case, we know they don't really do parlays, but if they do a parlay, they're doing the math. They're whiz kids. They usually will parlay the same game. They'll say, "Hey, the Saints and the over in that specific game." If
Yep.
the book will even let them do it, because the books know as well. Usually, if this team is going to win, then it's probably going to be correlated with the over or the under. And so sometimes the sports book won't even let you do it. But if they can slip up and find that where they can parlay, the Warriors and the over or whatever, that's what they'll do. They don't, go down to the book and do, a 17 parlay because they know the odds of that happening are slim to none.
Yeah, very much so. So, um, oh, the parlays of it. I mean, you can put over unders and parlays. You can put spreads. You can put money lines. That's one thing I really wanted to touch on. You can put different types of bets in there, and Will mentioned it. It will change the odds of that parlay. Again, you still won't have any juice on it, but it changes the amount of money you can win back in your favor or against your favor when you're playing parlays. So again, parlays are very risky. We want to get that out there. They are probably the least sexy. They're the most. Let me think of an analogy, Will. So parlays are Ferraris with
Lawnmower engine.
yes, exactly. That's what a parlay is. And if you really think that you were going to get beat another Ferrari with that, you have a chance. But the only way you beat that other Ferrari is if that other
Get a
Ferrari
flat
just
tire.
flat tire, burst into flames. It literally has to be an anomaly type of thing, and that's
Right.
what parlays are.
Or you might be able to drive in that Ferrari to the gas station, but you're not going to be able to drive to California in it. If
Yep,
you
and
know what I
that's
mean, you're not going to make a lot of money on it, but you might get by one time with it.
yep, and like you said, you may be able to get from Georgia to Texas, which is on a 16 parlay. You may be able to get those first four, but to get from Texas to Cali, those last two legs of that drive with a lawnmower motor in that Ferrari, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna break down, and it usually is gonna happen. So, again, guys, parlays is putting together a spread pick, a over under pick, a money line onto one card, and all those picks that you put on that one card has to hit. That is a parlay. Again, it is very sexy, but I promise you that sexy parlay might have an STD. I'm just letting you
Right.
guys know right there. So
There you
you
go.
might not want to jump off in that thing. For all y'all that, for all my fellas and ladies out there that like to go there. I just had to put that out there. So Willie J, this has been another edition of That's a Bet podcast. I appreciate you, man. Parlay, that's Parlay Peter right there, y'all. So look, if you want to hit him up and ask him about parlays, he will get down with he will let you know what's up with the parlays. So
And let me tell you guys, I do parlays all the time. I might hit on a parlay once a month.
yep.
So I'm just telling you how it is. And if
And
you play,
that's
I'm playing it almost every night,
yeah.
once a month. So
Yeah, and the thing is, guys, you gotta remember too. Willie will tell you guys not to play him, but you gotta understand. He will murder straight bets. So him playing his parlays, he's basically playing with house money. So that's what you have to realize. There's a difference between Willie J playing parlays every night with money that he's adding to his account to play. He's playing with money that he's won throughout the week or earlier that day on straight bets, and he's just like, all right, yeah, I'll put $10 on on
right.
this 6 leg parlay to see if I can win $300. And that if it hits that month, he came up with extra 300. Then he's playing with even more house money, and
Yeah,
you're
I'm not
chilling.
losing. I'm not losing money from the parlay. It's money I've already
Exactly.
won.
Yep, exactly. So, with that being said, Willie J, hey, we're gonna jump into speaking of money, our last episode, episode 6, that we're gonna jump into next, and make sure you guys go and hit that button and go to the next show. We're gonna talk about bankroll, and we kind of saved the best for last in a sense because bankroll is literally the key, and managing that is the key to really being a successful bettor and understanding where your money should go, when to bet, when not to bet, and how much of your bankroll should you bet each time. So make sure you guys check out our last episode, episode 6, coming up, bankroll. We'll have that for you. So for 2T's, that's Willie J. That's a Bet podcast, episode 5 of our sports betting 101 episode series. We will see you guys on the last and final episode, bankroll. See y'all, man.